Stuff from time to time. It's still cool, and sometimes even in the draft meetings we'll say, what do we think about that guy? And there gets to be a tense moment, and Sam Silva said, well, we are the world's champions. But we only do that amongst ourselves. We don't do that out in public. But it's cool. We understand what it means to Green Bay and Packer fans all over the world to win another world championship. We have appreciation for that, but we also understand, this league is about what's next. So we're trying to get ready for the next play.
Do you anticipate picking the brain of Zach Woodfin, a guy who trained some of these guys here?
I would assume we'll pick the brain of anybody if they have knowledge about a player. Certainly someone that has been around them and knows how they work and knows how they act and that sort of thing. We think character is very important.
For a while there was the Patriot way. As you've been around your peers here since this combine started, is there a respect for the Packer way, the doing it without the big free agent out there now?
No, everybody's got their own way of doing business. We don't do anything any different than everybody else. Everybody's been very gracious. They've said congratulations. I used to do the same thing. I didn't mean it. I was just being nice. They're being nice, and that's the way we do. Everybody's very competitive in this league, and I'm sure we got 31 teams that are wanting a piece of us.
With that said, Ted, I talked to a bunch of guys yesterday who talk about they're very envious of the way you guys have done things. Do you feel good about when everybody talks about how well you guys have built this franchise?
I do, but we have to remember this is a very hard business. This is a tough business, and it's here today, gone tomorrow. There were things, a lot of very small things that could have happened at any point during the season that we wouldn't have gotten to where we got to. And we have no illusions about that. So we're just trying to get better.
Is it really, by all appearances, this is business as usual, but there's an 800-pound rule with the CBA coming up, and the lockouts and all that stuff. Is it just business as usual for you?
It is. You only control what you control. So this is what we're focused on. The league matters, the league matters. And they'll take care of that business. Our job is to focus here, focus on the draft, focus on the guys here at the combine.
Where you at inside linebacker? You got the four guys who all kind of had starting experience, they're all under contract, they all make more than a few bucks. Can you go into camp with all four of those guys next year?
Yeah, we'll see. We'd like to keep our team intact as best we can. Those are business questions that we'll figure out as we go along.
Ted, I know you don't evaluate specific guys to us, but the outside linebacker group, how was that in this draft without getting into specific guys?
Okay.
Is that a decent group?
What is my normal answer? I think it's a pretty good group. And if you ask me about any other position, I'll say I think it's a pretty good group. But we're still processing this. We're still trying to catch up, like I said.
Are you a little worried maybe at receiver where Donald's 36 and James is an unrestricted guy and maybe you might get a big offer?
Yeah, well, again, we like to keep all of our guys, and we'll see how that goes. But we don't do a lot of worrying per se. We try to stay focused on what can we do to help our team. And if that means doing something for receiver, that's what we do. And we'll see.
You talked about trying to catch up, and you said at the podium, obviously it's a problem you gladly deal with, and understandably, but how legitimate is the notion of a Super Bowl hangover for a team that plays so long?
Well, it's a long run. There's some value to that. There's some downside. One way of looking at it, you have more games that you can have people get injured, and maybe it sets you back a little bit in the offseason. The other side of it is you have more time to practice and develop and work, even with some young guys that aren't even playing, but they're practicing, getting ready for the Super Bowl. That's a whole different tempo. That's something that you can't buy that kind of experience.
Ted, the guys will get up.
You got guys like Howard Green or pick up on the street.
They're some of the ones that, like I was referring to in there, along with almost everybody on our team, and I'm not exaggerating it. If we didn't have those guys, we wouldn't have done what we did. If we didn't have a couple from any position on our team, I don't think we'd have made it to it.
Ted, some teams have come out and said they're going to make some cuts before March 1st. Other teams have said that they're not going to because it's a little different this year. Does the impending work stoppage change what you guys are going to do?
We're going along with business as usual, and like I've said over and over, the league's going to handle that part of it. We're going to handle as best we can what we're supposed to do.
But until that day, it'll basically be like any other.
Yeah, we'll do business as business.
What that's going to be.
Right. Yeah. Well, now you just try to make good football decisions, and that's what we've done all along. We've always tried to manage the cap, whatever you want to call that, in such a way that we can make football decisions. We still feel like we're in a position where we can do it.
You're going to almost get a second draft class back off of IR. I mean, would this be a good year to have fewer picks and maybe try to go for home runs along the way? And I mean, you've gone depth the majority of the time.
We don't swing for the fence all the time, but I don't know if this. Again, I don't think this is going to be any different this year. We're going to do what we do because I think that's the way we've been trained and that's the way we do our business.